We actually went, cannot say we finished, but we went to the end of the top section on page Lamed Aleph. Where we have discussed oir and keili and his slapshus ha'oir in keili, and then the contrast between the oir and the keili. Even when the oil is mislabish in the keili, also there is a great distance between the oil and the keili. And we have had difficulty in focusing, understanding what does it mean, the sechel, the chokhmah of the keili. The keili doesn't have any chokhmah at all. The keili is just a utility that becomes wise when you use it, but in itself it doesn't have any chokhmah. That's as we perceive it from our worldly perspective. But in the Maimah the Rebbe refers to clearly the seichel and the chokhmah that's of the keili itself. The very last line, Ein arecha keili d'hakil gabe ha'oir, who, this distance between the oir and the keili, the gabe ha'keili, how do you define that distance, that outer proximity? Shebe'etzem, when in essence, inyan ha'hasoga v'ha'chochmo, the ha'keili, the whole inyan of hasoga and chochmo of the keili, it's not in that mahus, in that reality. They completely do different realities. But he's speaking about chokhmah, hasoga of the keili. And it's in different reality. So I thought how can we break this logjam and be able to relate to these words. And I realize that in fact it is quite clear, and it's, as Rabbi says, it's right there in front of our eyes. And the principle in this is the following. We have in our orientation, we have a screwdriver, which is a keili with which you tighten screws. Then we have the hand that uses the screwdriver to tighten the screw. And then we have the head, the sechel in the brain that directs you where to tighten and how to put it together, and what this is all about. And there's much detail in this entire thing, but here we have clearly identified three distinct levels. The seichel in the head, which is the oyer hanefesh. This is the human oyer. The screwdriver is totally devoid of its own oyer. It's totally uninvolved in what it's doing. The expression in Chassidus is ki garzen biyad hachoitzer. The garzen, the axe in the hand of the wood chopper, is a non-participant. There's no say in the matter whatsoever. And then there is the hand that does this activity. So what I'd like, we should focus in and understand the following question. The hand doesn't act on its own. Would you put the hand in the same category as the axe or as the screwdriver? Or is there a difference? Neither of them decides what to do, like the sechel in the head. Does that therefore mean that the hand is in the same category as the screwdriver? Or is the hand in a different category of its own? What do you say, Yeshua?
Different category.
Different category. What do you say?
Yep.
What do you say?
Different category.
What do you say?
Same.
It's a different category. What is the category of the hand? How do we identify it? When we say it's a different category, we mean to say that the hand is actually involved and feels and senses what it's doing. But does it know what it's doing? How do we distinguish that from the brain? We say that the hand takes over, the brain gives the hand the command, build a chair, and the hand goes on and builds the chair. No such thing. And yet, we all sense that there is the hand is a participant. It knows what it's doing. Here we have a very clear identity.
But a screwdriver doesn't do anything. You have to pick up the screwdriver and do it. But the hand, the brain, doesn't pick it up physically. It's the signal, and he gets the signal and he does it.
What does he do? Does the hand build a chair, or he just tightens the screw? Any response to that one?
The hand builds tightens the screw. The hand doesn't know the chair. He follows the command of the brain, and he's comfortable.
Forget about the command. Does the hand command is one thing. The screwdriver also follows the command.
For the screwdriver doesn't follow it. We force it. We force
okay,
it.
he is made to follow. But we say the hand is a participant on its own. It senses what it's doing. What does it sense? Does it sense that it's building a chair? What does it sense? Here we have a very clear exposition of the sechel at the level of the keili and the sechel at the level of the nefesh hodom. Interesting thing. Very interesting thing. You have a craftsman and you have a layperson. Anybody can screw in a screw. Even I can do that. But to screw in the screw perfectly in a straight way, in a way it should be. Not fit in the screw in an pre-existent receptacle, a hole, but actually create the hole and put it in the way that it should be, that it's perfectly joined. That you have to have as craftsman. What does a craftsman have that the layperson, the inexperienced person, does not have? If the joints are put together crookedly, anybody can tell it's crooked. In that case, so why don't you make it straight? The answer is that to make it straight, it's not enough that you in your mind know that it's crooked. That has to be straight. There has a feel at the practical, at the level of the hand. Here is how you join joints. This is the pshat, the craftsman hand. The craftsman joins very simple joints. It's a joint. It's perfect. He joins two pieces and they become like one. This feel of this joining, this feel is not in the brain. This feel is right there in the wisdom of the hand. This is what's called the chush in the hand. The hand, interesting. Feel there's certain chayas in the hand when it puts joints together in a proper way. Where does he get that chayas? Indeed, this is the chayas hanefesh. But this is the chayas hanefesh at the level of the hand. Everything is from chayas hanefesh. But this chayas is mislabesh in the brain and then in the hand. And that which is mislabesh in the hand is not comparable to that mislabesh in the head. In the head, one does not join two joints. He's building a chair. The hand does not build a chair. The hand is joining two joints. That it is very capable of doing. And it senses, it feels how do you join it, and when a joint is well joined, then it actually approves of it. He feels it, oh, this is perfect. He cannot feel whether a chair is a chair, but he can feel whether a joint is a joint. The hand can say, yeah, it's a good joint. As a matter of fact, only the hand can do that, because it is at that level. The head looks at it and says, it looks good, it's solid. Give it a shake. It doesn't shake. But the hand said, no, it's not perfect. Look at this. The whole seam is over here. It's not the way that it should be. Look at this. There is wisdom in the hand. But this wisdom in the hand is on the keili level. The wisdom of the hand is that two joints have to be perfectly joined, fit. That sense exists in the hand, does not even exist in the head. The head said, I don't know what you want. It doesn't shake, it stands straight. It's a chair. But a chair built by a novice, by one who has two left hands, as the expression. A chair built by a craftsman is not the same chair. The wisdom that's in the hand compared to the wisdom that's in the head is incomparable. Because the concept of a chair and the concept of a well-adjusted joint are not at all in the same realm. The mahus of that chokhmah is not that chokhmah. To the extent that the head doesn't know what you are so concerned about this joint to be smooth. And the hand does not understand what you want about the chair. What is the chair about? They don't understand each other. This is what the Rebbe is saying. Very last line. בעצם עניין ההסוגה והחוכמה די keili אין במוז החוכמה של הוער. It's not in the same mahus. They don't even correlate on the reality purpose point. If a layman built a chair, and you come and you examine it and say, hey, come on, this foot is put into crooked, this one. Just, hey, you're bickering, I can't do business with you. I know what you want from me. Sit down, does the chair hold you? Does it shake? You're just a complainer. Because it does not have the wisdom of the hand, of the keili. It's not a craftsman. You have a Sefer Torah written by a scribe. I had one of my Yeniklach was by my mitzvah, and they got a pair of film for him. And I took him to a sefer to check out. He says, listen, I can't even check this film. This is not the type of ksab that I can relate to. It's not a craftsman ksab. I don't even want to check it. It's not kosher. Maybe it's kosher. I don't know. If I scrutinize it very carefully, maybe I can declare it kosher. But it's not the type of ksav. I don't consider it as a ksav. It's not written. You can be. Of course, it's written. It's not a ksav of a soifer, of a craftsman, of a scribe. This craft in the hand that you can write, that you can see that this is a writing. This is every letter stands. The letter itself has a life to it. That's the sechel and the chokhmah in the hand, in the keili. The hand is only a keili relative to the hand, to the head, to the brain. This is something which actually happened with me. And I said to the parents of this bar mitzvah, I'll get him filled. Give it back to the other guy. So they came back to me and said, the other guy took the film and says, I'll sell it and give you back the money. I'm still waiting for that money. Therefore, every word in what we learn, as difficult as it is, speaks for itself. The wisdom in the, again, I'm going back to the end of the last of the white lines and going into the narrow. Be'etzem ein ha'asoga v'ha'chochma keili. The union of the hasoga v'keili, the whole. What is the keili trying to understand? What is it trying to make sense of? The union that we're trying to understand is it's not in that same realm. It's not even trying to understand what the oil is talking about. The oil is not even trying to understand, but cannot understand what the keili is talking about. That's why the other sefer says, I don't know, it's a kosher feeling. Then, this is the hasoga of the keili and the hasoga of the oil. And then there is the inyan of the hislapshus of the oil in the keili. Okay, this is the next challenge to understand. There is the keili, and there is the oil, and there is slapshus oil by keili. In our misholim that we have just now identified, it means the following: the keili, so to speak, the sechel of the keili is that the letters are beautifully written. The hand, when it writes, it can, please understand, the hand does not understand the relative flow of the letters, one relative to the other. You have two letters next to each other. The hand doesn't know that these two letters next to each other have to be of equal size. It knows that each letter has to have a clear distinct and clear identity what this letter is about. Because the hand is not involved in the ultimate product, what you're writing about. It is a craft to write a letter. The sechel in a head, it's not involved in writing a letter, it's involved in writing a parsha, kosher tefillah.
So you're saying the head or the seichel as is mislabish in the hand?
No, the seichel, the head. The seichel is talking about a kosher tefillah. Then there is the seichel, the seichel that's in the brain, that's mislabish in the keili, in the hand. Which takes it down to the level of the hand, but not the level of the hand that each letter is well written. But that the pasha flows smoothly. That you could see that this is tefillah. So this is a pasha. This is not disparate letters. Disparate letters, this is the wisdom of the hand. The kosher parsha, this is the wisdom of the head. Mislavish in the hand is that the disparate letters form one unit and one flow and represent that which is in the head. The head is mislavish in the oil. The oil is mislavish in the keili. When the oil is mislavish in the keili, it is not the same oil that's in the head. But it's not that dramatically distant, because that which you have in the head is that should be kosher at film. So you have the parsha in mind, and that which is mislavish in the hand, that it should be it's seen as one parsha, which is different in a different level, but it's not two different worlds. If you're talking about you should see the nice lettering, you're not talking about the same thing at all. What's the pshat? The hislapshus ha'oir b'hakeili. And this is what we're saying. That the oir that's mislabish in the keili versus the keili is very, very distant. Because the keili doesn't even know that this is a parsha. Doesn't even know that these letters have to be equal size and have to be read in a single line. There's a halacha about parshas. You're learning Shafus?
No, but yes. Not.
You're going there,
Yeah.
but you all know that parshas have to be shirtut. You know what shirtut is?
Mm-hmm.
You have to scratch out lines. Why need shirtut? You're writing letters. Why need shirtut for? Because the hand can only write one letter at a time. In order to give the hand a sense that this is a line of letters, this is not individual letters, you have to have shirtut. The head knows that it's a line of letters, but you're not writing with your head, you're writing with your hand. So the wisdom of writing is in the hand. You have to give the hand that facility, that orientation, that sense that when it's writing this letter, there's another letter to follow. And this letter, another letter is in proximity, is in the same line as the other letter. The hand does not have it on its own. The head provides its guidance. So we see how distant the wisdom of the hand was, and that how it is mamash a part of a keili. Doesn't even know what it's doing. It knows what it's doing. It's writing a letter. But the head not only doesn't write a letter, it doesn't even write a line of letters, it writes a parsha. Okay. Right. Okay, what?
Did we say earlier that the hand relates to the beauty of the letters?
Yeah. Not to the beauty, to the straightness, to the... Like if if you join, you put a foot into a table, the hand can feel that it was joined correctly.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
You understand?
Huh?
You understand? You understand?
Shlomo, you understand?
Shlomo, you understand?
Yeah.